Yo guys, what is going on? It is your boy Hollywood Steve back with another video, guys. Sorry for the lighting issue. I know my lighting could be a little bit better, but we'll make it work here, guys. So I'll work on getting different lighting and getting some good studio lighting here. But anyway, before we get into things, guys, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff before we dive into this episode of the Hollywood Steve Wrestling Podcast right here on the YouTube channel. All right, guys, so we're going to kick things off with a review of Monday Night Raw. So last night, Raw kicked off with Jimmy Uso and Gunther confronting each other, and they just went back and forth. They kind of went back and forth a little bit. Gunther, telling Jay, he's, still holding to the fact that Gunther is a real main eventer and Jay is not. Jay will always has been and always will be a tag team guy. And so, that didn't sit well with Jay again, So Jay ends up super kicking Gunther out of the ring. They go back and forth for a bit. Then we get a shot backstage. Rhea Ripley, making her way to the arena last night. She gets ambushed by Nia Jax, and Nia Jax takes her out before their match on Saturday night at Saturday night's main event. So then now I watched now just to preview this. I watched this back, so I watched it from the beginning, so I caught up to the live stuff, so I didn't see the commercials, which is one thing I really like about Netflix, is that when you start Monday Night Raw from the beginning, you don't get the commercials until it goes live. You don't get the ads until you hit the live portion. So which I really like. I like that. I like that part of Netflix. Raw being on Netflix. So then we got Kathy Kelly backstage talking to Bayley, and Bayley at that point, she's talking to Kathy Kelly, declares herself for the women's Royal Rumble match coming up in 2 weeks. Then next up we got Rey Mysterio versus Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods in his corner, and of course New Day got booed again as usual. Woods tries to insert himself into the match, interfere. Rey Mysterio, kicks him off the apron. The ref is yelling at Woods, and then we get LWO that comes prior to this. Rey surprisingly gets uses the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment to take a line from one of my favorite other podcasts, What Culture. He gets a roll up win, and Woods and Kofi are both furious here. And Woods proceeds to beat up Rey, but then we get Joaquin Wilde coming down to help out Rey. And Joaquin Wilde gets posted here by Woods. And he's just left, Joaquin Wilde's just left laying on the mat, or on the floor, on the arena floor. And they leave to a to a myriad of boos from the fans. Um, followed Following that, we got Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn came out to address the crowd, and what was next for him. Um, as Seth told him earlier in the night that Sammy told him, hey, I appreciate you talking to me. I appreciate, us talking last week. I really appreciated that. That meant a lot. Da 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 da. Blah 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 blah. And the whole thing, And Seth was like, well, you got to focus on you. You got to get back to the Sami Zayn that I know, that everybody knows. You've got to get back to that Sammy. And so Sammy comes out, addressing the fans, and everything that's been going on with him, and declares himself for the Royal Rumble. Then, of course, he's interrupted by his best friend, Kevin Owens, who, by the way, is not the WWE Undisputed Champion. That's Cody Rhodes. Kevin Owens has stolen the Winged Eagle belt, and he claims that he is the champion because he's not been champion for a long time. He's not had a title for quite a while. And so this is part of Kevin's delusional. This is part of Kevin's delusional attitude. This is part of Kevin's delusional part of his character is that, hey, I haven't been champion for X amount of time, so I'm gonna hang on to the Winged Eagle belt. I stole the Winged Eagle belt. I'm gonna hang on to that Winged Eagle belt, and I'm gonna call myself champion because I deserve to be a champion, and I haven't been, and so I can claim myself as champion when in reality he's not being recognized as the champion. So Kevin Owens comes out. He said, he didn't blame him for, KO said he didn't blame Sammy for teaming with Roman. He didn't blame Sammy for teaming with Roman at War Games. He understood it, but he said he blames Cody Rhodes for teaming with Roman because Cody was the one that beat Roman. In KO's mind, Cody beating Roman at WrestleMania, and then Cody teaming with Roman and forgiving Roman for what he did, what his family did to him, and teaming with Roman Reigns, and like KO's like, what the heck, man? Why are you doing this? And and KO said Sammy was a good person and that he wholeheartedly believed that he would win the Royal Rumble and go on to WrestleMania, and that Owens said that he would win at Royal Rumble, he would win the ladder match, become the WWE Undisputed Champion, and it would be him and Sammy at WrestleMania. And he said just like Sammy had Roman's back, he would have his. And he knows that Sammy would have his back. And that just kind of left Sammy just kind of stood in the ring, just kind of with a puzzled look on his face, like, okay, what was that all about? Like, what are we doing here, KO? So I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think that Sammy's going to have KO's back. I think Sammy is like, Kevin, you're absolutely delusional. You're absolutely off your rocker. If you've gone off the deep end, pal. And I really think that this is what Sammy thinks. Let me know if you guys think something different, but I don't think that Sammy is going to have KO's back at Royal Rumble. Because in the back in Sammy's mind, I think Sammy wants to face Cody, and he believes that Cody can beat KO because KO is absolutely delusional, thinking that he is going to beat Cody at WrestleMania. Or, sorry, at Royal Rumble. and that it's going to be Sammy and KO at Mania. And there's no way there's no way that they're going to take the title off of Cody, that Kevin is going to be the one to dethrone Cody at the Royal Rumble. I just don't see that. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't see that happening. That's just my opinion. But, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you guys think that Kevin Owens is going to beat Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble, and if you guys think we're going to get Sammy and KO at Mania for the WWE Undisputed Championship, or if Cody's going to retain and we're going to get Cody and maybe Sammy at WrestleMania. So then we got Sheamus. Then we see. So then we got then Sheamus is backstage being interviewed by Kathy Kelly, and also he was talking about his Intercontinental Championship match against Braun Breaker coming up at Saturday night's main event, and Sheamus is saying how this is the only title in his illustrious WWE career, his Hall of Fame career, that has eluded him. He's won tag titles, he's won United States championships, he's won World Heavyweight Championships, he's done everything except for winning the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I'm a firm believer that I would love to see Sheamus take it off of Braun Breaker just for a little bit. So that Sheamus could have that little bit of a title run. And if you want to put it back on Braun Breaker, then that's absolutely fine. If you want to put it back on Braun, I have no problem with that. But at least let Sheamus have a run with it, so he can, have won every single title, instead of this title, eluding him as it seems to have been doing for his entire career. I think that he needs that KO, or not KO, excuse me, not Kevin Owens. I think that Sheamus needs a run with the Intercontinental Championship. Then not only has Bayley declared for the Rumble, but she is officially on Raw now. She is officially a Raw superstar. So next we got Bayley versus Nia Jax, and this Bayley and Nia have got some serious as we know, Bayley and Nia have got some serious beef with each other, right? So they don't like each other, and we know this. And we got Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez was in the crowd again tonight. She was at SmackDown last Friday in San Diego in the front row. Again, she's in the front row again. And as the match is going on, Bayley gets Nia out of the ring, hits Nia with the move outside the ring. Bayley walks up to Roxanne Perez is talking a little smack. Roxanne Perez goes to slap Bayley. Bayley blocks it. But then Nia Jax, she gains the upper hand and begins to work on Bayley's arm. Bayley hits a sunset flip to the outside. Nia gets back in before the 10 count. And Bayley goes for the Annihilator and almost gets Nia with the 2.5. So with Bayley almost gets Nia here and beats Nia with her own move here, which I thought was great. Bayley trying Nia's own move and trying to beat Nia with her own move. I thought that was great. And then Nia and then Bailey hits her flying elbow, gets a 2 count. Um, and then of course, and then Nia smashes Bailey's shoulder into the post, and Nia hits the Annihilator for the 1-2-3, and Nia gets the win despite a really really good effort on Bailey. I thought this was a really good solid. I thought this was a solid match. Last night. You know, it being the women's division, I thought it was a solid match. You know, it was good. It was good. It was a good match. Then, coming out of that, so post match, Rhea Ripley runs down and just starts beating down Nia, and Rhea, after all the WWE officials separate them both, Nia's walking back up the aisle. Rhea grabs the microphone, gets up on the table, and just says, "You, me, Saturday night's main event." And so we're getting Nia Jax versus Rhea Ripley at Saturday night's main event. That is going to be good. That is going to be a good match because Rhea Bloody Ripley is going to rip somebody's head off. She is on another level right now. Then we got Chad Gable talking to Dominic Mysterio about his loss to Penta and saying, "Hey, I said I wanted the best luchador. I was not prepared for Penta. I did not know it was going to be him." Basically, Dominic hands Chad Gable a piece of paper with a name and number on it of a luchador that could help him out. And so we'll find out what that is. We'll find out who. I'm sure we'll find out who that is. Probably next week. Then we got got it made official that next week JD McDonough and Dominic will be facing the War Raiders for the tag team titles. Since Finn's out right now, for storyline purposes, Finn is out right now. And Judgment Day hasn't obviously won a lot since since Liv lost the women's championship, and JD McDonough and Finn Balor lost the tag titles to the War Raiders. So next week, JD McDonough and Dominic are going to try and get the tag titles back from the War Raiders for Judgment Day. And then yesterday being Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we got a nice little video tribute to Martin Luther King Jr. and his legacy on our country and what he did for America, and it was really really good. Then we got and then we get Sammy and Seth backstage, and Sammy was just saying how much he appreciated Seth, how much he appreciated their talk last week, and Seth said he'd been waiting for Sammy to show up, and said when push came, and since Seth was in the Royal Rumble, Sammy's in the Royal Rumble, but he said, "Hey, look, Sammy, when push comes to shove, it's every man for himself at the Royal Rumble." So Seth said that he would be shoving and throwing Sammy over the top rope at the Royal Rumble, but Sammy said, not if I throw you over the top first. Not if I throw you out first." Then we got my favorite match of the night. Penta was back in action against Pete Dunne. And holy crap, this match was freaking awesome. Okay, this match was amazing. Now, I did not know this until Michael Cole said this, but I guess Pete Dunne and Penta wrestled each other back in 2017 at Rev Pro, when they were both in Rev Pro Wrestling. So this was not the first time they had met, but this is the first time they had met in a WWE ring. And man, Pete Dunne, did his usual thing, trying to ground Penta, keep Penta from doing all this high flying stuff. So tried to keep Penta, to a ground game. But then Penta comes back, hits a sling blade. Pete Dunne lands some kicks in. Then Penta, I'm getting to where I love this move. I love the Canadian Destroyer, but I think I am loving the Mexican Destroyer even more. And then Penta, over the dang top rope, clears the top rope, hits a swanton bomb over the top rope. Come on. And it was so clean. And and Pete Dunne gets in some more offense, tries to get in some more offensive moves. Penta gets Pete Dunne on the ground, gets him in the armbar position, and wrenches back and hits the sacrifice arm breaker. And that's followed by a Penta driver for the win. And Penta, in his WWE career, in his short WWE career, is now 2-0. And man, oh man, oh man. And then next we got a video package for Logan Paul. Now, despite what Logan Paul did, with that video in Japan, despite all that, I don't like him because of that, because of him, because of what happened in Japan with that. I guess I don't know what exactly happened, but I mean, I do know what happened, but I don't want to, I'm not going to say here on this I'm not going to say here just because it's bad. It's bad what happened. It's nothing heinous, but it's not good. Okay, it's not good what he found. But nonetheless, we got a video package for Logan Paul, saying that he's going to be doing this full time now, and he's going to be making his Raw debut next week. And then we got the official announcement that it was made official that the War Raiders will be taking on Judgment Day for the tag team titles. And then this was actually kind of cool. We had CM Punk interviewed by Jackie Redmond, and Punk was actually up in the crowd, up in the balcony, which I thought was really cool. And Punk was being CM Punk. He digging at, getting his digs at Seth, saying that he makes this business. He's a headliner. He's, he does it all. He was, him and Seth were the main event of the Netflix Raw debut 3 weeks ago, and that's just what CM Punk does. And he said that he is going to throw 29 other, and he used air quotes, quote unquote, superstars over the top rope to finally headline WrestleMania. And then we get a shot of Drew McIntyre walking in the back. Then we got Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler of then we got Shayna Baszler and it was Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. It wasn't Sonya Deville. So it was Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark of Pure Fusion Collective taking on Io Sky and Dakota Kai of Damage Control. Pure Fusion Collective was in control here for a little bit. Io Sky regains control. Dakota Kai starts the match. Dakota Kai regains control. Dakota Kai gets the hot tag to Io. Io comes in like a house of fire. Io Sky hit, and and this is probably a good 10-20 minute match. Io Sky hits the over the moonsault on Shayna Baszler for the win, and Nick, and so Damage Control picks up the win here, with Io Sky being Io Sky. That woman deserves a championship run. She really does. She is absolutely amazing. I love Io Sky. She is awesome. And then we got our main event: Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. And this match, man, you could tell these two hate each other. They went back and forth. You can tell there's a disdain, there's a dislike, um, for one another. This match went back and forth, and then so I finally got caught up to the live portion. So coming out of the commercial break, um, Drew had control of the match. Drew hits an Alabama slam. But Seth reverses that into a victory roll for a 2. And then Seth starts working on Drew on the left arm of Drew McIntyre. Seth hits a springboard swanton off the top rope for a 2 count. Seth went for a superplex, and this was a really cool move. Seth goes for a superplex. Drew McIntyre reverses it into a Falcon Arrow. And Drew McIntyre, and then not and so Drew counters the suplex into a Falcon Arrow, and then turns into a Michinoku driver. That was incredible, and Drew gets a 2 count. That was awesome. I thought that was amazing. Drew's incredible at what he does, guys. I mean, he's a good heel too. He's just really good in the ring. And then Drew goes for the Claymore, misses the Claymore. Seth goes for the stomp, misses. Seth goes and Drew hits his jackknife, cover for a 2 count. Seth misses the pedigree. Drew goes up top for a top rope maneuver, misses that. And so Drew misses that Drew misses a top rope maneuver after hitting a JBL style clothesline. Seth gets Drew in a crossface, but Drew's long arms, he's able to reach for the rope and get a hold of the rope and get the hold and has to break the hold. Drew and Seth and Drew just go back and forth with the smack talk. Seth says, "You question my integrity. How dare you question? How dare you?" And and then Drew hits turns that as Seth's talking to him, talking smack, hits the Future Shock DDT for a 2 count. And Drew had and after that 2 count, I've never seen such disgust on Drew McIntyre's face. He had total disgust on his face. I've never seen that. I haven't seen that. I mean, I've seen it before with Drew, but I mean, this was like, he's gonna kill Seth. This is like his match with Drew's match with CM Punk at Hell in a Cell. And then McIntyre hits another vicious clothesline. And of course, Drew returns to smack talk. Says, "You're selfish." Da 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 da. Blah 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 blah. All this. Rollins picks up the win. Rollins takes advantage of Drew's frustration, and Drew himself gets a jackknife pin for the win, And of course, post match, Drew goes right after Seth, hits Seth with the Claymore, and he goes to put Seth's head against the he drapes Seth's head over the ring where his head is up against the post. And as he's about ready to hit a Claymore, out comes Sami Zayn to Seth's aid, and he just posts Drew into the stairs. Drew gets back up, hits a Glasgow kiss headbutt on Sami, and Sami gets Drew in the corner, and Sami is going for the Haluva kick. Drew moves out of the way just as Sami's foot is in the air, and Sami nails Seth with the Haluva kick as Drew rolls out of the ring. And as Drew's walking back up the ramp, he's got this devious smile on his face, and we get Drew's just got this smile on his face, like, yeah, Sami, you messed this one up. Seth is gonna kill you. You messed this one up. And Raw goes up there with Sami telling Seth, hey, that Haluva kick was not meant for you. That was meant for Drew. I did not mean to kick you. That was not meant for you. So overall, this was a really good episode of Monday Night Raw. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a lot better than last week on it, to be honest with you. Because the only highlight to me was Penta, last week. So overall, this episode of Raw was a lot better. I mean, anytime Seth and Drew are in action, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So that is the review of Monday Night Raw from last night, guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below, what you guys thought of Monday Night Raw. And if you guys thought it was a good episode, what you guys give it, I give it 2 big old fat thumbs up for this episode of Monday Night Raw. I'm looking forward to Saturday night's main event. I will have a video review of that as well. So stay tuned for that, guys. In the meantime, for now, this is Hollywood Steve saying, when you're Hollywood Steve, it's for life, brah.